I do know that if you control your finances today, you can definitely control your future tomorrow.
Like, subscribe, and share to Voices of Linden TV.
Hello, lovely folks. Welcome to another Money Minute episode. I'm Ingrid B. Clayton. My topic today is if you control your finances, you can control your future. Most people seem to have a negative mental attitude towards money. They were brainwashed to think all sorts of negative things about money, like money is the root of all evil. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Rich people are mean and greedy. The rich steal from the poor to get rich. In fact, I too was very guilty for believing some of these nonsense. And they indeed impacted my journey to financial freedom. I never really aspired to have lots of money because I never wanted to be associated with evil. I didn't want to be viewed as a greedy person either. And I certainly didn't want to be stealing from anyone to get rich. So instead of aspiring to become rich, I would say, I just want to be comfortable. But deep down, when I would say that, I knew that something was a little bit off. But when you're socialized a certain way, you're raised a certain way, then, you let it be. But little did I know that depending on the lifestyle that you want to enjoy, without some riches these days, you certainly won't be living comfortably. Most people who work 30 to 40 years then struggle to make ends meet after they retire are in that position because they didn't control their finances. They didn't plan properly for their financial future. They never put away even say 5 cents of every dollar they earn for themselves. They give to the tax man, then to the bill collectors, and they never even thought about giving much to themselves. Sometimes they even allowed others to control their finances, not realizing that nobody is more interested in their financial future than them, not their family members, not their employers, and definitely not the government. When you learn to control your finances, you can definitely control your future. I have a story to share. I know that by now you caught on that I love to tell stories, but I do know that you love to listen to my stories, right? All right, now this story will illustrate that controlling your finances will give you lots of control over your future. So here goes my story. In 2008, when the market crashed and interest rates were slashed, I started thinking that it was the perfect time to ditch my townhouse for a bigger home for my family. And around the same time, the great debate about whether to go with fixed or variable rate mortgage caught my attention. Now, because a bigger home usually means a bigger mortgage, and a bigger mortgage means higher mortgage payments, my dearest hubby was not on board to move. He was very comfortable with a small mortgage and low mortgage payment. Nonetheless, I'm very convincing. So I convinced him to meet with me and our bank rep to ask for a mortgage approval. After collecting our information and doing our thing, the rep came back to us beaming with excitement. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Clayton. You're approved for a mortgage of more than $800,000. So you can purchase a home for close to $1 million since you'll have a good down payment when you sell your townhome. I then asked the rep, what about the interest rate? What interest rate are we approved for? To which she replied, well, you have option. You can go with a fixed rate or a variable rate. Of course, as I wanted to keep the mortgage payments as low as possible to entice hubby to move, I decided on a ceiling of the price point of the home I would purchase. Big but, I had two criteria. First, the home must have more than one garage because that townhouse only had one garage and that was not cool. In fact, it was a shared driveway, and during the snow, not cool. Anyways, so that was my first criteria. It had to have a double garage. And the next thing is there must be an office for my boys to do their homework or study away from the distractions in their room. Now, Because I wanted power over my choices, I didn't find my ideal home until about January 2010. But guess what? This worked in my favor because by then the prime rate was even lower. And since I had the time from 2008 to January 2010 to explore the pros and cons of going with a fixed rate mortgage versus a variable rate one, I opted for a variable mortgage because I obviously had to keep an eye on the news about interest rates, about market conditions, and just the economic crisis in general. And you do know what they say: where your thoughts go, your energy flows. So, as I was paying attention to interest rate, I was also learning about all things relating to finances to the point where I took even more control of my finances. I control my spending, my investment choices, and I strategize as to how to navigate for my financial future. Because of everything I'd learned, 2 years later, real estate became my core investment strategy. And here's the icing on the cake. Today, I still own that townhouse and several other properties because I was determined not to sell it. I used that one property to fund other properties. Amazing. So, the moral of my story is because I was determined to control my finances, to prove to my hubby that we could purchase a bigger home and still live comfortably, the choices I made then affords me way more lifestyle options today. So, despite what you think, I'm not any more special than you are. Okay, okay, maybe a tad bit more special. Anyways, but all fun aside, I do know that if you control your finances today, you can definitely control your future tomorrow. Okay, so this is the time to start controlling your finances. Thank you for sticking with me and listening to my stories as usual. Until next time, do all good. Bye.